Hello, everyone. My name is Chijoke. Welcome again to another amazing episode of the Build Up podcast. This episode is a very, very special one. This is like a duel between two London rivals. I have from my left hand side Kofo, a Chelsea fan. Welcome to the Build Up podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm so
and
happy to be here.
we are also very happy to have you here. And also Toyosi, he has been he has been on this podcast before, an Arsenal fan, and I don't even know what to say to him.
Regardless
because
of anything you want to say, I would say, come on, you go now, sir. Abi?
imagine a club that has no European title is
No.
is making noise like this.
Point of correction. You shouldn't say that again. Why?
Why?
We've won the European Cup. I think I can't remember, but
Can't even
but we've
remember.
won something. I think in 1980. But of course, the likes of Ray Paulo and all
The
of that.
fact that you can't even remember it means you did not have anything.
He did history, but no history.
Well, to the business of the day, we are talking about the season, how the season has gone, especially for these two London clubs. You know, changing manager for Chelsea, signing a lot of players, 1 billion spent, arguments of not 1 billion net spent, and also the progress of these guys every time, Netflix FC, as they call them. So, Kofo, I don't know, how do you see this season in general, especially for your club, considering the fact that, yes, Poch was signed, Poch was sacked, then Maresca came in, some new faces and all of that. How do you rate your club this season?
I feel like this season is like one of the best season since we sacked Tuchel. Yeah, this is our best season since we sacked Tuchel.
Wow.
I mean, that fighting for UCL spots in the UCL final. Sorry, I don't care what everybody says. The UCL final. Like, it is a European competition.
my.
And we're in the finals, and also be the first club to ever win 3 European trophies.
What do you find? Go
the set.
Conference Cup. Conference
Complete
League.
the set. Arsenal fan, please let
What?
me land.
See, what do
Why
you
is an
find
Arsenal
good
fan
there?
in my business? Let me land now.
Okay.
I mean, this season has been quite a lot, to be honest. But bringing in Maresca and sacking Pochettino, I mean, I don't like Pochettino at all. That was the happiest day of my life.
But
I don't like the man.
Poch finished strong last season.
Poch finished strong last season. It took us to Conference League.
You would have actually gone to the Europa Leagues because
Yes, I
United
have
won the FA Cup. That's why.
If he finished strong, we'll finish top 4. Because he never had any European matches last season. We're not going to Astana. We're not going to anything.
True.
We're not going anywhere.
FC Noah.
We were focused on the league, and he still finished 6th.
Don't you think, judging from where Poch was bringing the team from, new owners, new signings, and also Chelsea came from a place of failure from that Graham Potter and Frank Lampard taking over. Do you see Poch's reign as progress? As of then, at least, was it progress in Poch's?
See, I don't like Pochettino. I can say everybody knows. I don't like Pochettino, so I don't see his. I feel like Pochettino was brought in. I don't think the owners had faith in him, because every manager they brought in, they gave him 5 years. Even Graham Potter, as bad as he was,
True.
they gave him 5 years, and then they even took a leap of faith in Lampard as interim. And when Poch was brought in, I feel like he was brought in to just stabilize. Neither the manager that going to stabilize the dressing room. A lot of players were leaving, players were coming in, and obviously Poch's recent success, he loves to manage kids. He's a very good man manager, comes in, stabilize the ship, but he's not a good coach long term. You are not going to win anything. I mean, he spent 8 years at Tottenham, and Ange Postecoglou is about to win a trophy in phase 2 before Pochettino in 8 or 9 years.
Talking about long-term phases process. This is very funny to say, but the Arsenal team, to me, personally, I feel Arteta has taken this team to their peak.
No.
They cannot get past this level with Arteta. He has done the best he can. They can't get way past this level. So this season for me has been another failure for Arsenal. And some Arsenal fans are saying, no, trust the process. Some are saying, no,
I mean,
Arteta should
they're even
go. But
celebrating Liverpool not topping their point. Like,
just look at the standards.
You know, it's this level of shit housery. If your rival cannot outdo your best,
Just look at somebody.
listen. See,
God.
it is quite unfortunate that injuries, red cards ruined us this season.
What are you saying?
But you want to ask me for details, right?
Okay.
How many times we got red carded this season?
Mhm.
Saliba against Bournemouth, against Brighton we had Rice, against City we had Trossard.
Are you indirectly blaming the referees?
PGMOL, I put in the call
Yes.
themselves. They know what they did to ruin Arsenal's title challenge. Then also unfortunate injuries to Bukayo Saka when we're in a good run of form, and of course Gabriel having a bad injury in the build-up to Real Madrid's double header. Then we had Havertz out. I would of course not say the whole blame is on the injuries and the red cards. Arteta has his fault. Arsenal have lost 4 games in the season. In the Premier League this season. Same thing with Liverpool, 4 games. Where is the problem? The draws. Arsenal have staggering 14 draws in the Premier League. Why? If you had won the games that you were, I'm supposed to be supporting Arsenal, but let me just be honest. If you are winning your games, you should not be behind Liverpool. Arsenal have conceded and all have lost a game or drawn the game when they've gone ahead more than anybody in the Premier League this season. So it is coming from a place of pain. But regardless, I would still say, even if those points dropped were taken out, the officials, of course, they cost us those points and the injuries. But in normal day, I would say fantastic campaign on the continent. In the league, despite the injuries, the setbacks, we still topped 1 billion FC.
but we have the same number of wins.
You concern me?
We have the same number of wins.
See,
19 wins.
see, okay, listen.
You should be ashamed.
You are
Because we are the poor
you are
one.
barely scratching.
We are the poor one here.
Are you poor?
And you are in phase.
You have
you're
a
in phase
very
7.
big no. You
You're
have
in
a
phase
very
7.
big budget. Kofo, listen.
You're in phase
You have a
7.
very big budget.
You don't have a big budget.
As Arsenal, have Arsenal made
Arteta
1
has
billion?
Chelsea has not spent
In how
1
many years?
billion.
In how many
Obviously,
years?
it's agenda. Chelsea has not spent 1 billion.
In how many
Chelsea
years?
have not spent 1
How
billion.
many
It's
years?
just agenda. Chelsea have not spent 1
Oh my
billion.
But
Oh
she
my.
has a point.
Chelsea
How?
have not
How does she
spent
have a
1
point?
billion.
Okay,
The
listen.
point is the
Arteta
net
in
spend is
5
actually
years.
the point.
I don't care. You have
You
money.
see? Agenda.
You have money to buy players.
But you also bought players.
In 5 years, I haven't spent up to €1 billion.
Whose
I
fault
haven't.
is that? If you have money, spend
We
it
no
now.
get.
That was my business.
But you see the thing here. I think last season everybody agreed that if you remove Pep from the Premier League, Arsenal will win the league.
Of course.
Everybody agreed
Yeah.
on that. Now this season started. The league has started. Oh, Arsenal is playing, the squad planning and all of that. It was surprising that Arsenal did not only lose the league to Liverpool, they were very close to not getting second. Very close. So that theory of that, oh, there was no Pep. There's Pep. If Pep leaves, Arteta will win the league. Pep is Arteta's only issue. We just saw now that that's a lie.
So when I was speaking earlier, I mentioned about 2 catalysts for our failure this season in the Premier League. Of course, but this is like the lowest point since we started coming second.
Was this a good season for you?
In the league, I would say an average season. Even at our worst, so-called rivals cannot match up. Yes, that's it. And on the
Match up
continent,
to what
Your
exactly?
worst.
you cannot match up to my worst season in the Premier League.
Your worst in
Since-
the Premier League. You not enter UCL in 7 years. That's your worst.
No,
season.
I'm saying since we started picking second.
Since you are picking second, just 3 years. You finish second. Just 3 years. Like, bro.
In the last 3 years, where have you been?
winning trophies. Last 3 years,
What
I
you
won
win?
Champions League. Last 3 years.
3 years?
Last
You
3
know-
years. 2021, I won Champions League. Where were you?
That's 4 years ago, man.
When
Okay.
last did you win?
But I still won Club World Cup 3 years ago.
No,
I won
see,
the Club World Cup 3 years
that's
ago.
as a
Where
result.
were you? Where were
See,
you?
you winning the
Where
Club World
were
Cup
you?
was as a result of you winning
And
the
do am
Champions
if
League.
easy now.
But okay, I accept that you have more Champions League pedigree than Arsenal. But of course, overall, you're not a bigger team
But you
than
know,
Arsenal.
there's one
Yeah,
team
I'm bigger
they
than
do
that.
have.
Now,
Arsenal, like,
There's one team they do have that most clubs in Europe cannot boast of.
where's that gold?
Do you know what it is?
they
Ah,
mean-
No,
I
no,
don't-
it's
I
not.
don't-
It's not the gold. What they have is that at least they are the only club in Europe that Madrid has not defeated.
Yeah.
At least that's the only thing I know that
We've never been embarrassed before. Huh?
embarrassed.
What a trophy.
From Madrid. Oh god.
Give them the trophy, please. Where's the trophy?
You know what I
trophy.
blame?
Who?
I blame Arteta. Because he
Can I give my 2 cents on Arsenal?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
unbiased. I feel like I can always tweet this thing that I think what if Ateta was the manager that came in, steadied the ship, and is not the manager to deliver the big
Not
job
at
for
all.
I
Arsenal?
always
I
say
Let me
do not- I
land
do
now.
not
Let me
agree.
land.
I always
let me
say
I
land.
don't
that.
agree.
Let me land because coming into this season, it was for Man City's slump. It was a perfect season for Arsenal to capitalize and win
Bro.
the Premier League. Like I was even
Like-
saying this season, Arsenal, like seeing Pep Guardiola, I was like, nothing can be done. But look at Arne Slot.
Like, he just
Not to
came in
take
from
anything
nowhere.
away from Arne Slot. Slot is a very, very fantastic manager
Yeah.
because it was on Chelsea's list and like just like research through him. I've seen his works. He's a very, very good manager. But look at transitioning from Klopp to Slot. Klopp already had a system.
Yeah.
What Liverpool did was, unlike other clubs that just want to shred everything, like Chelsea, and don't like burn everything down.
They just
What if Arteta is
built on
like
it.
the Klopp of Arsenal without
Yeah.
the trophies? That he has already like laid down the system, everything is set, but they need a manager that will come in and win. I feel like if Arsenal should bring in Unai Emery now, they'll win a trophy.
God forbid.
Yes.
If
Why?
you you'll win a trophy. I'm actually very you'll win a trophy.
Look,
Emery himself does not know how to manage a big team. It has shown. If it
But he
was not-
managed PSG.
no. If it was not in
He managed
if it was
PSG.
not in the French league, you know how much.
how big do you think you are?
He managed PSG.
How big am
and,
I?
Yes.
and he won the
Top-
Europa League
top-
with
top 10,
Villarreal.
yeah.
Sevilla,
Real.
Villarreal.
Are you kidding
So
me?
Europa League.
My question is
Remember
how,
the Europa
how
League?
big?
Remember
how
the
big
Europa
is
League
it?
final?
brought us-
Arsenal. Europa League final. You brought to your first European final since 2006.
Listen,
And even that
who
day,
made us crumble
you
on
were-
that day?
Even that
Who
day,
made us
wait.
crumble?
Made you
Even that,
crumble?
it's Hazard.
No,
Hazard made you crumble. Hazard made you
the
crumble.
tactics of a coach
Hazard
needs
made
to be
you
questioned.
crumble.
And then
Hazard
listen,
made you
see,
crumble.
we were
Coming
very
to that game.
no.
Chelsea were the underdogs because we had Rudiger on injuries.
No.
We had injuries
This one was the truth.
problem.
This one is the
No,
truth.
And
listen.
everybody were saying,
Blame the
everybody
coach.
were saying, Unai Emery is a Europa League specialist. I don't even know about Unai Emery. Like people were like saying he's a specialist. He has won, I think, 5 Europa Leagues and all
Yeah.
of that. Like, and our coach has never won a trophy. Sorry, at that point, he has
Sarri was
never
trophy.
He
ever
was trophyless
ever
at the time, yeah, I
won
know.
a trophy. So I'm saying that Hazard
Okay.
made you crumble. You
No,
cannot
wasn't
blame
Hazard.
Unai Emery.
Remember in that league, in the
Why
league,
are you
wait, in
blaming
the league
the
that
coach
season?
now? Sorry, then, but you can't blame the coach now.
No.
that Arteta is
See,
like
I said
the issue.
no. I have said that Arteta has his fair share of fault, and also the injuries.
No,
I said that.
no. What I mean no is I'm disagreeing with that for one thing.
Why?
I love Arteta.
No, we don't need you.
No, I love him because he's a very good tactician. I started having
He's too
this
pragmatic. I don't think he's a
one-
good tactician.
No.
Maybe in just big games, but like
Pragmatism
what are you
is still
doing
tactics.
against the
To me,
smaller teams?
pragmatism is still tactics. So I started having this a little bias over Arteta when I love Saliba so much. I love Saliba
You no go
so
see
much.
am buy.
So I never understood why you had a player as good as Saliba
And you loaned him out.
and you loaned him out twice for people like Luis, this other guy, this Greek guy. They were just-
Bastopoulos.
Yes. So then I started looking at Arteta like, oh, what is this? That bias should be kept aside. But the issue I have with him is in the past 3 years, 4 years, Arteta has been bad in squad planning. Let's be honest. He has had injury crisis because of his poor squad planning. There is no reason why your star player Bukayo Saka
Does not have a replacement.
not have a
I agree.
replacement.
I agree.
there's
Even
no reason
Havertz
why
does not have a
Thank you.
replacement.
there's no reason why you've had
Martinelli, you don't have a strong winger.
You've
on
had
the left.
3
No,
summer
no.
windows to buy a striker.
But
You
Ateta's
don't
squad
want to
planning is
sign a striker.
mainly defenders and midfielders.
Like,
Like, I don't know, it's obsession
with
and
goalkeepers.
keepers. Yeah,
Like
obsession.
Oh my.
you've had time to buy a striker. You had 60 million last summer
Yeah.
to buy a striker at least. Guess who he bought? Havertz, who is not a pure striker.
He bought Havertz
Gen-
2 seasons ago.
Okay.
seasons ago.
January, you had an option to buy a striker. Guess who you signed? Mikel Merino.
No, he signed Merino in summer.
Someone, DM.
In January, you had
He didn't buy anybody
This
in
is
January now.
No, there was
could
no, there
not.
was no business in January.
now.
There was
January
only
business
outgoing.
is quite tricky though, but
Yeah.
Now you want to sign someone. Obviously, you signed this guy. What's his name? Zubimendi.
Zubimendi, yeah.
I get the fact that
But Partey is
signing.
about to renew his contract. So what's the
Yes.
plan?
No. Zubimendi is to
understudy.
replace Jorginho's profile. That profile of
So
Someone that
Alex
can hold
Iwobi,
the ball.
You
all
can't
of
bring
that.
Zubimendi to sit on bench because you're going to play Partey. Partey is going to start. So
And then
where's
no.
the problem?
Okay, so you
who
think
is going
is
to start?
you
Why
have
can't
Because
you
you're not
sign a
bench.
No, no,
striker?
no.
You cannot bench
That's
Rice.
just my
okay.
own.
Listen.
Why can't you
Okay,
sign a
listen.
striker?
No. You are saying. Let me answer a question concerning Zubimendi. You cannot have at a point when Partey got that yellow card against against Real Madrid, he was sorely missed against PSG the first leg, and in the second leg you could see his impact.
Yes,
And the only
I saw the
person.
assist to Fabian Ruiz. Nice impact.
Oh, nice. But okay, the other side, of course, overall gameplay, you know how important it is to Arsenal.
Yes,
And someone that can offer something similar could have been Jorginho, but of course, was not fit.
not fit. Yes.
And then Zubimendi is coming in that frame
Yeah.
to understudy Partey for a year. Partey is going to his mid-30s now. So if he's understudying Partey for a season, and regardless of the fact that he's understudying Partey, remember Partey is not 100% fit most of the times.
Yeah.
So that is where the replacement can come in. You're talking about squad planning. We're learning lessons. I
5
hate,
years.
I hate to admit.
For 5 years.
Listen, I hate to admit.
More
Yeah,
than 5 years.
no man. I hate to
But 8
admit
now.
that
Okay,
since we
8.
became an elite team back, our squad planning has been shit.
True.
Now, we are trying our best to do something. Yeah, we brought Sterling in. Of course, you would expect
Why
Sterling.
was Sterling brought in?
Who would? I was expecting Sterling, or we were expecting Sterling to give us the best performance. As somebody who does not have,
But then I
does
think
not have, does not have
the first sign,
loyalty.
You know that Arteta is very unserious in signing Sterling.
No.
We were not even expecting it. Even Chelsea.
Of
I don't
course, it
think-
was
I
a
don't think
late.
Chelsea
It
were
was
even
no.
anticipating it.
See, if you were
They
a
showed
coach,
that
He
That's
did not
serious.
only sign him, he was not even playing him.
no, he played him, and then there were performances where it was an eyesore, and of course, you would not want to keep playing. You would prefer playing. I think Arteta is stubborn, yeah. But regardless of how stubborn he is, he backs it up with performance. We have been nearly men.
You can see the performance.
Listen, we have been nearly men, but we can see that Arteta, who's a young manager, inexperienced, in his first job, is showing signs of improvement yearly. Except
5 years.
Except if
Hey.
we listen. How many years did Ferguson spend in United before winning his first trophy?
Sorry, are you in a transition period or do you want trophies?
See, I'm not going to rush the trophy, but of course, I want a trophy. Yes. Now, when I'm giving Arteta a make or break season this time around now.
Oh, make or break.
Yes, a make or break. Why? Because your defenders are sorted, the backups, left back, you have everything. Goalkeeper, or you want to get Johan Garcia from Espanyol. If you can get that within 20 million euros, you have extra with Gyökeres or either Sesko. You get one of them.
Everything now on paper.
Yeah, of course,
Season
it's on
go
paper.
start
Listen. No. See. I'm saying what Arsenal need right now, yeah? They have to bring a winger that can actually compete. Okay, I think Ethan Nwaneri can actually come in also. So listen, Ethan Nwaneri can come in as his second season as a pro, yeah? Can come in as a replacement for Saka when he's injured.
I don't want your story.
And then there's going to be a replacement, or let me say,
For
not like a replacement, like a competitor for Martinelli. That's needed. 2, the most important one is striker. So if you can sort the left wing position, get someone like Ademola Lookman or Nico Williams to the left wing, we're good to go. Remember, Ademola Lookman can play as a centre forward also sometimes. So if you can get an Ademola Lookman to Arsenal,
the same false nine. See, I like.
there's
your
Gabriel
honest-
Jesus.
I like
If
your
he's fit,
honest
we're good.
assessment of Arsenal, and I feel maybe you've gone in depth in the problems. And from an unbiased point of view, I want to know your assessment of not only Chelsea's season, but their business in the past 1 year, 2 years, transitioning from new owners. Okay, they've had 3 coaches since the new owners came in.
Yeah.
Potter,
3.
It's more
4
than 3.
actually.
4.
Lampard,
Lampard,
Pochettino, Maresca.
Pochettino, Maresca. Actually, Tuchel was actually there.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about their transition? Are they going in the right direction?
Well, I think they are going in the right direction, but they are wasting money. Why? It's not my money. It is not Kofo's money, and it's not the fans' money. But the club know how they get their money. But
How do you mean wasting money?
yes, players that they've bought for inflated figures and they've of course are not being used. The only player that I think they've bought and then they probably loaned and is making headlines has to be this boy in the other team in Strasbourg. What's his name?
Santos.
Santos. That's the only addition you can bring to Chelsea and be like, oh, this is fantastic. Casade, where is it today?
They've sold him.
Yes,
Sorry.
back to Italy. Then you also have some Brazilian gems that you're talking about bringing.
Estevao,
Where's this?
all of that.
Where's this boy? This black Malangsa. Where is it today?
It was
No,
not
really,
the
no,
new
no,
owners.
it's Marina.
That's
Okay,
signed him.
okay.
Marina signed him.
Then even if Fofana was probably the former one too, yeah.
Yes.
But Chelsea's buying and selling has been poor. I know Chelsea of former tenure of loaning their players
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Fortuna Sittard, all of them. But this time around, Chelsea seem to have squad planning issue. You don't, if not because Maresca was, should I say, was bold enough to pick who he wanted, you would have had like overfilled dressing room.
But don't you think that shows a little progress? Because
Yes, I said they're
brought
going in the right
a
direction.
manager
Yes,
that was like that they gave free.
I never
hand.
I never expected Maresca to set the ground running this way. And there's a problem of mentality at Chelsea. We're not going for the league. We're not going for the league. I'm sorry, but if I were to be a manager, within my players, we know what we are doing. But
mentality coming from an Arsenal fan.
listen, oh man,
That's quite
you asked me
bold.
for an honest
Yeah, okay,
assessment.
yes,
oh.
but
That's quite bold.
that's very bold of you.
If
Mentality.
okay, at a point, you were gunning for the title, very close.
We were never going for the
Necking. Listen, now your point tally was showing that you were close to Chelsea to Liverpool.
But-
At a
but
point,
wait.
if you had won, you would have topped Liverpool.
If you are entering the season now, they put Chelsea as top 4 prediction. Won't you laugh?
No, see, based on
Won't
what
you have
based on
laughed?
what see, okay, we didn't expect Chelsea to be title contenders early in the season,
Yeah.
but their performance in terms of maybe gameplay was rubbish, but result wise, you were getting it. So your result is what matters. Even Arsenal play beautiful football from now to tomorrow. If they don't win anything, they are trophyless.
That's
So that's
what
what.
has been happening.
Listen to me. I'm not going into Arsenal. So what I'm basically saying is that you were very close to topping Liverpool, but on seriousness got into it. I'm sorry, I cannot even say it's
No,
injury.
I don't think it's on seriousness.
It is
The
on
moment we
seriousness.
lost Romeo Lavia that December, we crumbled. It's not a coincidence that when Lavia came back again, that everybody's saying that. No, when coming into the run-in last 6 games
Yeah.
to go, we saw 11 Sky Sports pundits after the national break to make their predictions, and everybody said Chelsea will not enter the top 5. And we've won so far. So we've won 4 out of 5, and we had the most difficult fixtures on paper. You can go and check. We are playing Everton, very tough early kickoff. We are going back to Fulham at Craven Cottage. We're going to play Liverpool. We're going to play Man United, and now last one is against Nottingham Forest. Everybody said no Chelsea in the top 5, but it's not a coincidence. When
Weren't you close to losing
Lavia
it?
came back against Everton, we picked up again.
Okay,
It's not a coincidence.
weren't you close to
I
losing it
actually
last
agree
last
with-
weekend? Last weekend on I think match day 36 or 37. Very close when they drew with one team, and then Nottingham Forest could not capitalize.
They drew with.
We lost against Newcastle.
Yes.
Lost
And-
against Newcastle.
Not every team can go to Newcastle and come out with a win. Who are you?
They did.
At
We did.
St. James Park.
Yes, we've
At
won there.
St. James Park
Yes.
this season.
This season,
Did you win?
St. James Park. You won at Emirates on Sunday,
You've
not
only
St.
won
James Park.
Newcastle once
They
this
beaten you.
yes,
they-
but last season we did. Two seasons ago we did.
Last season, that's what we said 2 seasons ago. No, you did not last season, because I remember when you guys were crying, they beat it 2-1. That somebody's header was cancelled.
Hey.
Have you forgot? Go and check.
Hallelujah.
Oh, wait.
At St. James Park.
Okay,
You
okay,
cannot
okay,
go
okay,
there
okay,
to
okay.
come out with a win at St. James Park.
But we have gone to
St.
St. James
James
Park
Park.
and won before. I can assure you.
That was when?
under Arteta.
They've
I've also
also
gone there and
and
won.
won.
Like, call it St. James Park. But
Yes,
recently, you can't go to St. James Park to come out with a win. You
But
cannot go there.
you know honesty.
Except you're a smaller team.
But you know honesty.
But I actually agree with both of you on 2 points. Yes, the return of Romeo Lavia leaving through injury affected the team, no doubt. But I agree with Toyosi where he said the mentality thing comes in, because I've watched different Chelsea matches where, because of the age and lack of experience,
Yeah.
Chelsea lost points. Either they drew the game or they lost it. Like I've seen matches where they were in control. I think this game, was it Nottingham Forest at
The
home?
bottle the game actually.
No.
Was it Nottingham Forest at
No, I think it
home?
was Fulham. We were leading.
Yes.
Fulham at home.
It will be
Nottingham
it will be
too.
struck,
Yeah.
and then
Nottingham Forest too. Like I've watched so many Chelsea games where they're in control. They are winning
all
these
the games that
But
we've lost this season, we are always like having the better position, like
yes,
78%.
Same,
and
just the
same, same,
mentality,
same, thing- same thing with
the
my
mentality
beloved
issue.
Arsenal. You would play, penetrate, but where's the effort? But it is what it is. Next season, we're coming back. I assure you,
Again,
man.
next season, the mentality issue has been a problem with Chelsea, and that's why I feel, yes, it was the right time to let Thiago Silva go.
Of course.
Yeah.
No problem. But on the other side, I also ask myself, same thing I always talk about every time. There was a time I felt that Madrid was supposed to bring Ramos back
Yeah.
because I felt we lacked that. I did not even want him to play.
Go back to Mexico and bring him.
I just needed someone there that will tell these boys now, what are you doing? I
Like
just
that,
needed that
I
thing.
think that's one
So
of my
I feel
issue.
Thiago Silva.
That's one of my issue with the owners right now, because
So you
I'm
want to
like,
bring a 37-year-old
wait,
back?
No, he doesn't have to play.
it doesn't have to be a 37-year-old, but like if
Someone that
if we are losing somebody like Thiago Silva, who
You
are
have to
you
bring in,
bringing
thank
in?
you.
Well, I'm not saying you should bring in
Yeah.
a 37-year-old, but somebody, maybe a Rudiger version, like someone that's a leader, someone that has
Guess
the
who
mentality.
they brought in? Tosin.
You are bringing
Tosin.
in Tosin. Like, why? That is why I'm always like,
You
even
don't
now,
want-
even right
wait,
now,
wait, you don't want to
even
rep
right now,
Nigeria?
even Chelsea, even right now, even Chelsea fans are saying, "Oh, let's sell our wingers." I'm not against selling
That's not the
players, but I'm
problem.
saying if you are selling these players, can you elevate them?
Yes.
If you are losing, like if you are saying, "Oh, Nito is bad, Madueke is bad," sell them. You don't
That's
even
actually
trust.
where
You
good
don't
sport planning
trust.
comes
You
in.
don't have trust directors
Yeah.
to bring in. Okay, now we are seeing rumors of Enzo Fernandez being linked to Madrid.
Madrid, yeah.
Most Chelsea fans don't like Enzo, and not just.
It's quite
and-
surprising, to be
I
honest.
know, and Chelsea fans like
That's
people.
how
Chelsea
English
fans,
people watch
there's no
football.
in between. When they like Enzo, they like Enzo. Af likes Enzo because
Yeah.
Enzo's shirt is one of the most.
But
Yes, last season was
Number
the most
5,
bought at Chelsea, top one. After then it's Palmer. But people that don't like him don't like him. Like let him go. Let's have the right price. Okay, now sell him. Who are you going to bring as replacement? That's the
Enzo's
issue.
profile is scarce in
You
the
know who you
market.
go bring?
Enzo's profile is
you know
so
who you go bring?
scarce.
Wilfred Ndidi.
Enzo's profile
Don't
is
cut my
so
lawn.
is so scarce in the market. And but there's one thing I applaud Chelsea's directors for, Paul and the guys upstairs. Every time they are linked to a player, I remember this summer they were linked to Bakola. Chelsea fans were shouting. Now some of them are like, where's Bakola? There's
talent,
a
yeah.
Redoué.
Samu
Yeah,
Omorodion.
Omorodion.
Yeah.
Nah,
Same thing.
He's tearing it up in the
Yeah.
Portuguese
Yes,
league.
same thing. There's a Redoué. They were very linked
Yeah,
to.
we were this close to
him
getting
then,
Due.
yes.
Like this
Then-
close.
everybody was saying,
I think
why?
I think environment also matters. If Due had come to Chelsea, he might have not had that soft landing for him to perform.
True, but the same fans that did
But
not want him.
this
they want him
this
now.
They want him
these
now.
directors have showed us that it's not every time you go for the big names.
Yes,
Yes.
they
You just
have
go
eyes.
for effective
Yes.
players.
But the
Yes.
players you've bought, like Neto, I'm sorry, it's not Chelsea material. Tosin is not Chelsea material.
What do you mean
Madueke,
by Chelsea material?
are you not supposed to be contending for Champions League and everything? Will you expect to see Tosin that Manchester City rejected?
You know you make signings according to your situation.
Of course.
There is no personally. Let me know. Like,
So you ship Tosin
personally,
out?
Martinelli is not an Arsenal player.
No, I disagree.
Martinelli.
I truly disagree.
How many top
profile
teams
is the
can
problem?
Martinelli start for?
In 2022, 23.
How many?
Martinelli.
2022, 2023.
Okay, listen.
Okay, and August to December, Madueke, oh yeah. Yes, now.
And August to September, Jackson.
Yes,
Okay. So listen.
Which top team will Martinelli start from?
Based on your form right now, Martinelli would never start from even a top
There's
10
no form that Martinelli will start for a top team.
at all.
There's
Really?
no form.
Somebody who plays for the Brazilian national team.
He was in his highest
Doesn't
form,
start.
and he went to the World Cup. He cannot start.
Doesn't start.
Hey,
at
there
Brazil.
is a Vini. Different profiles.
I'm telling you, there's no top. Arsenal is a top team, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Martinelli is not an
Okay,
Arsenal
so I
player.
think
that's
you know the problem we
My
have with
point is
the problem
simple.
we have Martinelli.
You make
The pro-
transfers according to your circumstance. When they signed Palmer,
Yeah.
I did not know Palmer from anywhere. I was like, where then carry this one come from?
They
But-
bought
No
from
worry,
Man
people
City.
still to drag me on my
Yes,
tweets.
but
When I said, who is this one again?
but Palmer was signed because Nkunku was injured.
Yeah.
No,
during
Palmer
the
was not.
preseason.
Yeah. Because Mkuku was injured.
Yes,
yeah,
because so they not even plan to sign Palmer. Yes, they were going for him, but it was
They
just
didn't
this-
ask Pochettino
this
self. He mentioned that they
So
didn't ask him.
they just signed him, and they signed him because
Thank
normal
God they don't
Chelsea,
escape. Thank God.
normal Chelsea will not sign Palmer.
Yeah.
But look at it. That Nkunku's
No,
injury
the
is
Chelsea
like,
now, the Chelsea of now will go for any they don't want even like big names. They don't care if you're not a big name. As long as
As long as
they've
you
seen
fit
that
into what the squad.
you have potential, that you
Yeah.
have this thing, they will sign you.
I think it's a matter of the
It's not the
coach.
Chelsea of
you know,
other Roman
the-
Abramovich.
the-
Like,
you know,
oh, you can see, oh, you can see
they are
power.
using
Nah.
this US business model of
Sign young.
when we sign you young, it's like investing in a startup.
Yeah.
Because even if they want to sign a bigger player, they can sell you for a
For
bigger
a bigger
amount.
money, yeah.
Like, I have a prediction that Madueke might be sold
It will be so. No, it might be. It
because
will
of
be so.
this guy coming in. What's his name?
But that
This
is
guy.
But if you are selling
Estaval.
Madueke for Estaval, you are very, very you're
Yeah,
not serious.
I have a
Mhm.
feeling
don't
because
think it will be
because
sold.
if Estaval comes in,
Estaval is not
Madu-
going to start immediately.
It won't
Ob-
now. It would adapt
obviously.
to the English
He's not going-
environment.
He's just 60.
But
I mean, just
if-
No, it's 18.
Yes.
18 now.
18. If a team like Arsenal or Newcastle comes with a good bid from Madueke,
They won't sell.
they'll sell.
They will sell.
They're
They
to a,
will
di- to a
sell.
direct rival to us now.
They
They
will
will
sell.
sell.
Well, maybe the rivalry is dead.
It's just if the money can be like
Chelsea and Arsenal don't really
50.
have
50?
rivalry when it comes to signing players. Chelsea sign sell
Because
players.
we sell dead players ourselves. It's only
Which
Chelsea
dead
that have
player
benefited.
Did you sell to Chelsea?
But we gave you Havertz now.
Ashley Cole.
So
went
Havertz
to-
is a dead player.
No. See, how many good players? Should we mention? How many good players?
I'm talk.
William.
Who?
David Luiz. Mm.
Now you know use and where. Fulham use William where.
Uh, Expectation at a club is different. How many goals William score now? William's last game for Arsenal was in
Which expectation will I even drop for una self? Where player go come full?
No. I never expected this.
Which expectation una drop for una self? Where player like for instance, William was supposed to go to Spurs,
Yeah.
but why this time for Chelsea? Expectations. Hazard said Chelsea was never in the bidding for him. That he has spoken to a lot of.
He was
clubs,
going
just-
to United.
Yes, but he came to Chelsea's expectation because he has seen, this club is like really
Yeah.
big. Your club now, I don't know the standard that they want to set. That
So are you trying to say right now a player in his right senses would pick Chelsea over Arsenal?
of course,
No.
of course.
I
The only player-
smell
the
something.
only
Of
player,
course.
the only player we've lost to you in transfer window is Calafiori that season, and Chelsea
Yeah.
backed out and went for Vega.
No,
Yes.
because
Injury record.
no. Apart from injury record, the player has been an Arsenal fan over the years. So,
Yeah. Kala has been
Yeah,
has been an Arsenal
because
fan.
I see him on podcast and they ask him Arsenal questions of, I'm talking about early 2000s, and this man comes out to say a lot of things. Even Saliba himself has been an Arsenal fan since
Yeah,
a very long time. So, well, don't worry, we got players, man.
I think that's my favorite Arsenal player.
You don't need to like Saliba.
I've always
But
liked
I
him
think
and
Gabriel.
Fofana
I
from
think
time.
Gabriela.
Gabriel.
I think Gabriel is better than Saliba.
Oh,
Sha.
for no. See,
Gabriel is covering his ass.
no,
I'm sorry.
Gabriel makes him better, but Saliba has a higher ceiling.
Saliba needs somebody to hold his hands.
Yeah, of course, right now, the way they play. But last game against Newcastle, I could see a very different partnership between Calafiori and Kivio. You know, having those two as backups. That's what a good team will do. If Real Madrid had backup for their defenders this season, they of course would have never been in
Bro,
this
the
trouble
injuries
this
messed
season.
us up. The injuries messed us up like mad. And I was always asking myself that, who did I offend?
I don't think the injury messed you up. I think Ancelotti is finished.
No, I don't know. No.
I think no, honestly,
Injuries
I
did.
think Ancelotti should have gone since last like it should never been.
So
here
you think
already.
Ancelotti's tactics don't even
Arsenal,
work anymore?
forget injury. Arsenal from
we were lucky to win the
from
Champions
minute
League
one.
that last season.
That last
From
of course.
minute
Yeah, we were
one,
lucky.
Arsenal were like the better team.
Of course, man.
Obviously,
Down
I will
to
add to
90th
it watch
minute.
now, down to the last minute. Arsenal were the better team. Even if you watch Madrid game this season, I don't see any team that they've actually like.
Have you seen
dominated.
how
We could not replace Cruz.
have you seen
See,
how
you were-
Barcelona?
You were
Have you seen how
leading
Barcelona?
against Barcelona
Bro,
again
2-0.
2-0, and they still like scored 5. I
You
think
know,
one was cancelled.
I would not blame you, Madrid for conceding for losing from 2-0. Almost every team have done that this season. And let's go to Madrid in the Copa del Rey
So
semi-final.
why you know them against Inter? Almost everything. Why you don't do them against Inter?
Well, for anybody watching, of course, I support two teams, FC Barcelona and Arsenal. So I understand how the hate is coming. But regardless, I think we're just unfortunate. And for a so-called world-class defender in Ronald Araujo, you turned off. Asebi came into the front and scored. I mean, it's it makes me want to cry, but I forgive him. It's all finished.
But what are your expectations next season? for your club and also for Arsenal?
My club right now, see, I think everybody's edge right now is like Sunday's game.
For
I-
next
I-
season, what
I cannot think of next season. I want to just see how, because Sunday's game is make or break. You lose, you go home. You are going back to either the Europa League or we are going to play Conference League again. Once we win against Forest or Sunday, I can start thinking, oh, next season. But obviously, next season expectation. I want a striker. I don't think Chelsea need enough, like more.
Go and pay that money for
reinforcement.
Victor Osimhen.
Wait, calm down now. I don't think Chelsea needs. I don't think. I don't want to see me in my club. I'm sorry.
Why?
I'm Nigerian, but I can't say it on this podcast because I'm.
Why?
Like, I'm sorry.
I think
guys.
I understand. I understand.
My preference is Alexander Isak. Chelsea, please.
Understand.
Do
I
the
understand where she's
needful.
coming from.
I don't want. I'm not going to say. Osimhen is a nice player, but
Why
sorry.
don't you want to see?
No, I understand where she's coming from.
I can't say it on the
Well,
podcast.
Perez, I beg.
No.
Go carry
You know,
am
say
for
she
me,
only drag
abeg.
players. She no go fit drag Osimhen.
I will not be able to like.
I beg,
Don't go
carry
drag
am
Osimhen,
come,
Osimhen
abeg.
for
Just
me.
scrape and come.
I
abeg.
think we need if we had a striker this season, we would have been in a much better situation because when you have a player like Palmer that's created the most chances
They've actually missed the most chances this season.
created the most
the league,
in
yeah.
the Europe top 5 leagues.
Use and win trophy
Palmer
now.
and Enzo are on the list of top five most created chances in Europe top 5 leagues this season. So
Yeah.
when you look at, and there's like a comp flying up and down. You see Madueke missing a lot of Palmer's
Like
chances.
a lot
You
of
see
chances
Nito
missed.
missing chances.
Jackson,
you see
my boy.
Jackson as
My boy.
No vex, eh? Don't worry.
I feel like if the striker this season would have been in a much better position. At least would have maybe qualified. Not
Let me
qualified
give it to
last
Lua Rokodare.
day. You.
Jeeva.
I'm sorry if you're watching. I'm sorry. I don't mean anything. But you know, for the love of the game, I have to support my club. So we need a striker first of all. That's like
Yeah.
the first thing that should happen. I don't want to see Sesko in my club. Yeah, God. See,
He has good ball
The
striking though.
striker-
He has good ball striking.
the striker that they will sign determines what we are going to do next season. Once I see Sesko, Ugo, Ekitikete, or what is his name again?
Ekiti-
I don't. Once I see those people at my club,
No, this is
I was like,
Nigeria.
this club can never ever. I was not going to come back. They're not going to make it next season. So when I see me like Victor Osimhen or Isak, now know that okay, yeah, these people are actually ready because if you make the Champions League,
Yeah.
you will need a statement signing, obviously.
They
You know that-
actually do
You know
need
that
a statement
okay,
signing.
oh guys, oh everybody, oh we are back. We are back up, like we are back.
Yeah.
So we need a striker. That's the most important thing. I don't think we need a midfielder. I think we are fine in the midfield.
Very, very fine.
I
Santos
think,
is
I think we need a
joining
Cucurella backup. Backup for Cucurella.
Wow.
Because if Cucurella had gotten injured this season for once,
That's another
I think we'll
point.
have been doomed also.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I think
you have
I think also
Chilwell
we need a goalkeeper. I don't think we're
That's
going to buy. I don't think we're going to.
another
I don't think
department
we're
that
going to
they need
buy.
an
We're not going to buy a goalkeeper.
Petro-
We
Can
have
get
Petrovic
Petrovic,
coming in. Yeah,
yeah.
Petrovic is coming in. So probably Petrovic as number one. They need an experienced CB because I think Tosin, Chaloba are going to be phased out.
You want to phase out Tosin after one season?
They are leaving. He's going to leave. Now he's going
Go
to
and
leave.
sign Saliba.
You know, if you see and buy.
If you get
I'll
get a
give I'll
defender
give you.
like Murillo of Nottingham Forest.
Hi.
No,
See
yours
standards.
Newcastle. No. I see. You see, that is
See
where
standards.
I'm going to come in from. To be honest, because I see Chelsea fans, they have this this love for lower team players. I'm sorry, but not every lower team player will perform in a big team.
But it
Now
has
look at
worked for.
Caicedo now.
But I'm sorry, it has worked for.
Brighton is
under
different.
Roman Abramovich, it doesn't go to all those Brazilian leagues one side. It has worked for us. So if all things being equal now, if Roman was still our player, I'm telling you that someone like Mbeumo would have been a Chelsea player because that's a Chelsea type of
That's
signing
true.
under Roman.
That's true.
You got people like Pedro coming in.
I still feel like I don't rate. I still feel like I don't rate him.
No,
I don't
no
know. I
efficient
feel like-
wingers,
Why?
but they're coming and perform
I
at
don't,
Chelsea.
I don't see him as some. I know he's quick. He has this quick
Who
feet.
in Arsenal is better than him?
Is he better than Saka?
No, apart from Saka now.
We don't have any winger again now.
That's what I'm saying. Now you have nothing, and you're saying you don't
See,
rate
that guy no better
Mbeumo.
pass Pepe, Nicolas Pepe. It's the
Well,
truth.
true.
He's not better than Nicolas
So-
Pepe.
so-
It's
so-
just the fact that there was a lot of pressure because of the 72 million tag.
True.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
And Arteta too. Yes.
He himself did not cover himself in glory.
So I don't expect, and I see Chelsea. If we make UCL, I hope that next season also we are also going. I don't think we are going to fight for the title, of course. Again, we are still trying to stabilize the ship.
They're not going to accept say that they tied
We are not.
What's-
We're not that challengers. But
what's
for
your own,
Arsenal, wait,
ex-
for Arsenal, Pep is coming back home. Pep is back.
Ah.
Rodri is back. Rodri played yesterday.
You are so cool.
Rodri is back.
Well, I know it's
Pep-
coming. My turn is coming,
Pep-
so I'm gonna speak.
Okay, I think they're not more signing Vit again, but they're going to
Yeah,
sign.
they'll
They're
not
going
sign
to sign
Wirtz
Morgan
again.
Gibbs White to replace
Yeah.
KDB.
No, I don't like it.
Pep,
You
they're
don't like
they're
Morgan Gibbs White?
reinforcing very well. Liverpool are also not sleeping anymore. They've woken up. What's Mike Edwards is back at the club. And
Yeah.
they're also signing players. They are going for players that will suit
They signed
slot
Frimpong.
system. Yeah, Frimpong. And this guy is coming in Kekers of
Yeah.
Bournemouth also. So
Good signings.
good side. Maybe Arsenal will try to make second again or third for. I don't think Arsenal are going to win the Premier League next
Okay.
season like, at all. But I think they'll win a domestic trophy, maybe FA Cup or Carabao Cup. But I don't think they're going for the league next season.
Well, for me, basically, I somewhat think about Arsenal a lot, and I think it's gonna be a 3-horse race next season.
Between who and who?
Arsenal first position, Manchester City second, and
Yeah, hearing
Liverpool
it now. No, I
second,
don't want to hear
Liverpool third.
PGMOL.
If
This one.
if officiating is
Oh,
whatever, if
God.
officiating is fair,
Okay.
Arsenal should be winning the league next season.
So
You know, in the
officiating
last-
is always unfair to you guys.
So,
and
so
unfair
when
to others.
No,
officiating
you
was
did
fair
actually-
to you in the UCL, what happened?
Of course, we faltered. We faltered. I understand that, yeah.
no go falter,
But
okay.
it's an achievement. Remember, last season it was a quarterfinals against Bayern Munich,
Okay.
and we couldn't, of course,
This season it
Bas-
was what?
this semi-final against PSG.
Last 2
La-
seasons it was what?
We didn't qualify last 2 seasons.
Okay, don't worry.
So remember that next season we'll get into the final, baby.
Okay.
Yeah. So of course, Arsenal's next season for me basically has
Mm-hmm.
to be finish strong in the Champions League and win the league. I'm tired of second position.
Good.
It's a make or break season for Arteta. Even if you don't win the league, please win me 2
Win something.
domestic trophies. 2 domestic
That's a
trophies.
stretch.
Yes, it's not a stretch. It's not a stretch. If you have enough squad depth, what's stopping you from winning the Carabao Cup? You go to semi-final. FA Cup, it was a stupid loss against United. Penalties. We should have won that game. We squandered a lot of chances. So I'm going to say the domestic cups, you either focus on them or you focus on the league. That's it. And for Chelsea, because I know, of course, we're going to make strong signings.
Yeah.
Beta has been doing fantastic, but I think there's a bit of friction according to the media.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one
There's a friction. Arteta wants
Please just
Sesko.
sign Sesko and take him on the market. I don't
Arteta
want
wants
to like,
Sesko, and
get him off the market,
and
please.
then there is,
please.
Beta wanting Gyökeres.
You're
But I
correct.
think for me, forget the fact that I'm Nigerian, but the only player that is quite cheap that will do wonderfully well for Arsenal has to be Victor Osimhen.
He's
I'm
not
telling
cheap.
you.
Oh.
You know, chillax. He has 64 million pounds. That's his release close, yeah. And after tax, he wants over 200,000 pounds per week. That's about 250. So if you're going to double it with tax, that's about 500. So that is the problem. And I see clubs like Liverpool paying people.
Liverpool will not.
Liverpool will not. They cannot.
It's only Salah. Liverpool will
Yes,
not pay,
Liverpool.
give
Even
everybody over
Alisson.
200.
Alisson is earning 180.
180.
So I think
You see
Osimhen.
this wages thing.
I'm
people
sorry.
are always
I'm
talking
sorry to
about
chip in to this
Osimhen.
with
It's
this thing. I
always
think that's.
somehow.
I think Chelsea really like Victor Osimhen.
It is
But
the
like
wage.
they-
But it is, and
And-
it's not
okay.
because I think Premier League are also trying to cap these clubs at a certain
Yeah.
wage, like this thing. And Chelsea now, right now, what they're doing is they're not giving their players huge wages again. They're doing performance-related wages now. If the
Haaland
players,
is taking 400.
if the
Yes.
that's Man City. If the,
So
if the
Osimhen should be
players
able to.
should make UCL this season, they have an increase in wages. There's bonuses for
So
them.
I think most Nigerians come online and then they say, Chelsea or Premier League clubs are ridiculing Osimhen with that price. But in all honesty, they don't understand how
This wage
wage thing
structure,
works.
yeah.
If it was in Spain, you can pay him
Yeah.
300,000 or
Yeah.
you pay him. Of course, maybe small for the.
But you can't even do it in Spain again, also because
No, you
Tebas
no,
Tebas has
everything.
I know this. I know the cap in terms of 1v1 rule and all of that. But in England, a lot of people complain. Even some of our Nigerians at Jakpa, they tell us about how the tax is.
Yeah.
But in Spain, in Italy, the tax is not as
Yeah.
big as what we expect. So if Osimhen is going to come to Arsenal, it's either a request for like after tax 180 or after tax 200, then he can come to Arsenal. But I really doubt if they will bring it into Arsenal. But Gyökeres, Sesko,
Or do you think Premier League clubs don't want Osimhen?
they do.
Actually do.
They do, but
Everybody
you know, yeah,
wants
that's
it.
what I'm saying. It's
And
a problem.
It's
12
crazy
million
because
per year.
only 2 clubs in Premier League can boast of 2 elite strikers in the whole
Only
of the league.
Erling Haaland.
and
and
this
who?
guy Isak.
Isak is not
It's
even
too early
elite,
to
I
call
beg.
elite.
Isak is still early.
It's
He has
too early.
23
I
goals
beg.
and counting
It's
this
not
No, it's
season
not
in the
elite
league.
though. It's not
He's
elite though.
elite.
This is his best season, no.
He's still elite
let's
so
even
far.
leave Isak
So-
Compared to others in the
matter.
league, he's elite.
Well,
What's your expectation for Chelsea? next
For
season?
Chelsea next season, I see them making the top four, and I think England might lose one of their slots in the Champions League. That's because we're going to be having 5
Yeah.
and possibly 6 now,
6.
and I'm sure
8.
2.
Up to 8 English teams
No,
in Europa.
in Champions League.
Okay,
So
Champions, okay.
out of the 6, I can assure you 2 we drop back home.
True.
2 we drop back home. I don't want to say it's Chelsea. I don't want to say it's Newcastle or whatever.
Or
But I
Spurs.
think 4 teams will make it to the next round, and Chelsea might just be one of them.
Yeah.
But the only thing that will support Chelsea season is if they have injury to their fullbacks. I think their fullbacks are very pivotal to the way they play. See how their fullbacks invert. Cucurella comes through that wing, and then you see Gusto with a lot of Chelsea fans don't like Gusto anymore like this. But you see, if Reece is fit, then I think
Gusto
Chelsea
should
might
just
be gunning
leave
for
my
the
club.
league. And they need the striker, not Nicolas Jackson. Who is, you know, I see Jackson at time like it's like all-time code. He's not meant for Chelsea. He's not.
Do you know,
Mikel
I
Obi says a lot.
don't even abuse Jackson again because he's the best mid 30 million can ever get you.
I'm a
Honestly,
huge fan of
It's
Jackson.
30
Let me not
million.
lie.
So you cannot be
I'm a huge
demanding.
fan.
That's
give
why
me
I'm telling you.
15
See,
league goals.
that's
So,
why I'm
like,
telling you.
I
That
don't
come
blame-
and
I don't
takes.
even
You know,
blame me again.
you know.
I don't
See,
even blame him
I'm
again. I
Nigerian.
blame
I have so many
directors.
options for you. Tolu Arokodare is there. Victor
Just know that,
Boniface is
see,
there.
Submit it to
Jackson,
Arsenal.
Jackson is the only Chelsea striker apart from Drogba that's gone 2 seasons with double
10
digits
plus,
Premier
yeah.
League goals.
Make it score 20.
As
I
I'm,
beg.
as I'm
know.
telling you that is the best mid 30 million can get you right now in today's market.
But you're going to frown. See,
Because nobody's buying 30 million
you're
again.
going to frown at Chelsea for having a striker that is very poor. I understand a lot of people say, Drogba. Drogba is a competition for another day. We hype that man a lot. His
See,
numbers are not impressive.
Let me not lie.
But it is what it is.
If we leave Chelsea here, the agenda that Chelsea is going to bring, just let's bring this episode to an end. It has been an amazing episode with these 2 London rivals. The way their matches go to, amazing games, amazing episode now between them. Always remember to watch the Build Up podcast on YouTube, listen on Spotify, like and subscribe on YouTube too, and all Apple Play platforms. Thank you for watching this episode on the Build Up podcast. See you in our next episode. Thank you.